Well, joining us now is the man who'll have to oversee that, the Governor of Lebanon's Central Bank, Riad Salameh. Mr. Salameh, thank you very much indeed. I just want to start by asking you about the opportunities for Lebanese banks abroad.
Lebanese banks can expand now abroad. We have facilitated that in our regulation. They have the financial means to do it. They have clean balance sheets. They were not involved into investment in what turned to be toxic assets, because since 2004, we asked the banks not to buy subprime. There is a possibility and a potential that they are exploiting, and we hope they can relay this in London today.
But do you think expansion abroad might impact on the sort of regulation that prevented Lebanese banks from suffering in the same way as many Western banks during the course of the global economic crisis?
We ask the banks when they expand, because they have to consolidate their balance sheet in their headquarters, that is in Lebanon, to apply the same regulations that are applied in Lebanon.
Would that be compulsory, will it?
It will be compulsory. So they will be essentially doing commercial banking and retail banking, or a little bit of private banking.
Mr. Salameh, Lebanon's economy has really shown remarkable resilience over the years, not just to the global financial crisis, but also in the way the country has managed to withstand years of tension, the civil war, which ended in 1990. You enjoyed 9% economic growth last year. The IMF is forecasting another 8% this year. How difficult is it going to be, though, to sustain this level of growth?
It is a major challenge for us. We know that growth is linked to a peaceful environment in our country that suffers from time to time from political or even security problems. We know also that we have to maintain capital inflows in Lebanon at a high rate. This year it will be, the deposit will grow by more than 10% in our country. And we know that we have to maintain a stable currency to have stability in prices in a times where we really don't know how the world commodity prices will behave.
The IMF has said that Lebanon needs to avoid an overheating economy. How concerned are you about the risks of this type of growth? Are you worried about a sharp rise in inflation next year?
We're not worried about any internally driven inflation. We do control the liquidity. The central bank is following that closely. We have the risk of imported inflation. If the dollars drop and you have a rise in prices in commodities, this would hurt our expectation for inflation.
Difficult to talk about Lebanon without mentioning political risk. You said it yourself, the economy's performance depends very much on stability in the political environment. And even during times of stability, it seems like such a delicate balance of power between the various groups. It seems like even a small political crisis could spiral out of control, could possibly lead to the government's collapse. Is that something that concerns you?
The markets are worried by the tensions that we are living presently, and that involving pressure on the government, because we have a coalition government and there is a deep division in this government. We hope that this coalition will hold, because it is a major asset for confidence.
But what are the difficulties to that? Very briefly, Mr. Salameh, because the Lebanese are now awaiting the indictment by the Special Tribunal for Lebanon investigating the assassination of Rafiq al-Hariri, as you all know. Are you worried about what could happen after that if members of Hezbollah, for example, are indicted?
We are worried. We hope that the government will take the necessary actions in their session tomorrow to cool down the atmosphere.
Okay, Riad Salameh, Governor of Lebanon Central Bank, good to have you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.